Hey, collective, what is going on, y'all? This is your girl Tracy from Ascension 225, Tarot and Oracle. What is up, collective? Specifically, my divine masculine collective. We're tuning in and to see. We haven't checked in on the divine masculine energy in a few weeks, about 3 or so weeks. So we decided that, we're going to check in on them, see what's crack-a-lacking in their universe. If any positive changes towards North Node are taking place, or if they're just kind of doing, what they do. You know what I mean? This pertains to the divine masculines out there who jumped ship from their divine partnership with the divine feminine and went left into a karmic situation. Even the bird agrees. I don't know if you can hear the bird chirping. Um, even the a bird agrees about this. But anyway, so these divine masculines went left. They jumped into karmic situations. It could have been a big booty and a smile. I'm not sure, but I know that there's a song out there that says that can get you in trouble. So anyway, so they went in that direction, and ever since they used their free will and they decided, hey, Holy Spirit, you know that contract I signed before I came down to the 3D. Well, you know what? I'm rethinking that contract and I'm not really feeling it. I really am not wanting to pursue this glow up, this spiritual awakening at this time in my life. I want to party and bullshit some more and kind of be in that Knight of Wands type of energy and be with whoever I want, party, enjoy life, and just not ready for the spiritual awakening. Okay, just not ready. All right, so this message is for those divine masculine. So if you identify, doesn't matter what gender you are, guys. There's no gender in tarot, guys. So if this fits your story so far, then I say let's dive on in and see what's up. I hope all the divine masculine collective out there is doing great. Really, we do talk a lot of shit about you guys because some of the decisions that you guys have made on this karmic journey you're on. Um, and sometimes it looks like you're gonna start this awakening and then you go back, into the cycle of, a lot of it's a lot of toxic people, places, and things. Kind of go back and forth, like a double-minded person. So anyway, we're gonna find out what's crack-a-lack, and we're always, even though we talk shit sometimes, divine masculine collective, we do support you. We do raise you up in prayer. We are really hopeful, and we will be very grateful. Um, once that collaboration, that rekindling between you and Holy Spirit happens, and that you're able to really follow your purpose that you have, whether you're with the Divine Feminine Collective or whether you're solo dolo, doesn't matter, because we know Divine Feminines are glowing up and have been glowing up for the longest time. North Node, baby, white light energy, right? And they've been doing it solo dolo. So you guys have that option to do it solo dolo as well, even though you guys did sign a contract to pursue this spiritual awakening journey together. So anyway, I really wasn't even going to do a reading, you guys. And I started playing with the Kipper deck, and I started meditating and praying on the Divine Masculine Collective. These are the cards that fell on the table. And so I just left them there, and then I immediately hit the record button. So I just want to let you know, first off, that this is a collective reading. If you need your own reading, please click on the banner. It'll take you to my Thumbtack page where you can book a 30, 60, or 90-minute reading with me. And I have all 5-star ratings, okay? And we could really tap into what's happening in your world, okay? So this is just too many people to pinpoint a story, even though sometimes it does feel like a personal reading. I had just announced the October winner for the free 30-minute October reading. That is congratulations to Unicorn. So if you'd like to be or possibly be the winner of a 30-minute free reading with me, please do me a solid and first click that like, share, and most importantly, that subscribe button, because I choose a random subscriber at the top of every month. So congratulations to Unicorn. You have 30 days to redeem it. A lot of times I don't have contact information for you guys. So please contact me at ascension225tarot at gmail.com. Unicorn, you have until the 8th of November to claim your free reading. All right, you guys. So that's it for the housekeeping stuff. Okay. So let's, like I said, I hope you guys are all doing well. And I'm just praying for blessings, and I'm sending everybody in the collective good vibes. And I appreciate you guys sending me good vibes. Now, I do rebuke, and spirit protects me against negative or harmful energies. So please don't waste your time sending it over here. Okay. All right. So, divine masculine, what going on, y'all? All right. So I was, like I said, I was playing with the Kipper. I was meditating on you guys, and I wanted to get some fast, quick, information on what was going on instead of, doing tarot. So here we go. We've got imprisonment. Okay. So somebody may literally be in a 3D prison right now, locked the fuck up. Okay. May have a mouse as a friend. I don't know, but they're locked up nonetheless. Or this could be locked up in the El Cabasa, La Cabasa, or El Cabasa, whatever, your head, all right, your dome. You're locked up mentally, emotionally in your head. This reminds me of the Eight of Swords card. The Eight of Swords card, which is somebody being in emotional turmoil, not being able to go left, right, up, or down. Okay, so, and 11 in tarot, 11 in tarot is the Justice card. All right, and reduced, it's a 7. So this could be a spiritual imprisonment, spiritual turmoil, spiritual attacks that are feeling like imprisonment to somebody. All right, now see, when I was laying out these cards, I was literally asking spirit, what's happening between the divine masculine and the karmic energy? So those two energies together. We had a courtship, or have a courtship going on. Yeah, but see, what's really weird about this whole courtship thing is if you look at this lady, like he's like looking at her and she is looking away, giving a side eye. Like, what's up with her? You know what I mean? What's up with this chick? Let me just take a sip of coffee. We have a coffin. This is like the death and rebirth card on its face. Maybe somebody is refusing to see that there has been an end to something. Maybe they don't want it to be an ending. Maybe they're refusing to go through a death and a rebirth, right? When you go through that, that entails trusting spirit, going through a death and a rebirth, right? So if you don't really trust spirit and you're all in your ego and all in your pride and you think you running shit around here, then it's going to be really hard for you to submit to spirit and go through a spiritual death and a rebirth. That's the death of the ego, death of pride, coming out on the other end a more spiritually awakened person. So it's really hard for you to see things the way that you did previously. but this may be somebody resisting that. Oh, now, if somebody went towards something, and we know the story, and most of us do, unless you're new on the scene, right? About the divine masculines who went the karmic route, chose the karmic because they thought the karmic had mulayo, money, the bag, inheritance, and they decided that going down the road with the divine feminine and going through this spiritual awakening wasn't what they wanted. They went towards somebody who they thought could make their life better with money. And when they got there, guess what? That unexpected income was not there or has quickly evaporated. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So, and you know, when you look at the number 27, when you add it, it's a nine. Nines are about the closing out of chapters, prepping to close out the chapters, right? And tens and tarot are the completion of that chapter or that cycle. And reduce, this is a five. Fives are all about changes, right? And a lot of those changes are oof, uncomfortable, bumpy ride, roller coaster type changes. So this could be, you know, a roller coaster ride for somebody who gave up their divine connection for a karmic situation. No love there, guys. Only lust and the hopes of inheritance or money, right? We know a lot of the karmic energies and a lot of the divine masculines lie to one another about, I got this kind of money, I got that, fake flexing, right? And neither of them have a pot to piss in, nor a window to throw it out of. How does that work? But anyway, I digress. So either somebody, this is like a major change for somebody, a major bumpy road. Um, or this could be like, you know, somebody in some sort of anxiety or whatever because they did not receive this unexpected income that they thought they were going to get. And down below, I've got false person, go figure. But look, both these mofos got masks on, right? So they were lying to one another. Yeah, I'm due a big inheritance. Yeah, oh, and I worked in, I do this job and I make big bang and la 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 la. Ain't nobody got nothing. They both false under this moon energy. And I see fire here. So fire that could also, you know, um, be fire type energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius type of energy. hmm There could be a message of concern coming to somebody. Could be this mature woman here. There could be a message of concern coming to this mature woman. Okay, look at her. She looks like she does not give two fucks, right? She's classy. She's got that high priestess energy going on. Like, I know what the hell going on. Don't come over here with that shit. All right, I had your back, Bofo. I had your back, and you bazounced on me for this karmic energy. So I ain't trying to. I don't. No, that's a hard no. I'm high priestess. I see all. I know all. Okay. Can't nobody put nothing over on the high priestess. Okay. Uh, and what was in the hidden energy was very important. So we have a mature woman and this uh, person who, this divine masculine, could be a very mature person, a five, right? This message of concern is a five card. We said fives are all about, you know, that roller coaster ride of change, right? Somebody is thought of as high honor. you know, or this is a seven, so this is could be looked at as divine intervention. This shit had to happen. The free will that we have, it was really a test for the divine masculine. What choice are you going to make, divine masculine? All right. And so I really feel like this was divine timing, divine intervention, whatever that high honor put into place to see what choices the divine masculine was going to make. I have main female. Okay. So maybe they also see this main female as being high honor. And I see adjudication. There's two people standing in front of a judge, right? I don't know. Are they getting married? Are they getting a divorce? Is there a settlement happening? I don't know. But underneath that, I've got courthouse, another five card. James Franco looking like a judge here. But yeah, somebody may have to go to the courthouse for some sort of case or adjudication or marriage, divorce, whatever. Uh, could be about a child. And we know a lot of the divine masculines, it started what they had with the karmic energy was supposed to be like a one night stand or maybe a couple night stand, just sex. But it turns out that a lot of the karmics were thinking, if I could find a sucker out there, I'm going to make sure I get pregnant or fake a pregnancy so that I can siphon this mofo for everything, every damn dollar they got. All right. So whether this is a fake karmic baby or a real karmic baby, this is what's up. And it could have something to do with their house. Maybe they're having their fight over the house or sell the house or, you know, I don't know, but this is concerning to somebody, this older gentleman. Okay. 33 is an angel number, and look, sudden wealth on its face along with unexpected income. Somebody thought they were going towards the bag, and guess what? Boom! The grass wasn't greener on the other side, mofo. Why? Because you thought you was getting the bag with this karmic ass energy, and what you got was lies, all lies. No money, no bag, no nothing. All right? You went towards them for nothing. Wow. Somebody may be moving on a journey. It could be a physical journey. Maybe they're moving because maybe this house was being sold and they went to court about this child. Okay. Maybe they're moving somewhere else. Okay. Out of state. This could be also a spiritual journey. Yeah. 10. 10. 10 is about a completion of cycles. It's over. And this family room now stands empty. The family room inside of this house is now empty as a mofo. The Earl Grey has gone cold. All right. There's nobody to stoke the fire. This shit's over. This marriage. I can't make this shit up, guys. Literally cannot. This marriage, and a lot we have heard that some of the uh divine masculines, if you and I, we're going to put quotation marks around the word masculine. Okay. Because, I mean, we're going to put quotations around the word divine. They are divinely appointed, right, beings by Holy Spirit. But we all have free will, and they decide to use their free will and go the karmic route. So I say quotations because at this time, the divine masculine is acting and has been acting more like a distorted masculine for quite some time now, at least a few years. For some, it may be longer. We're all at different phases of this journey, this divine masculine, karmic, divine feminine journey, right? So everybody's at different phases of the cycle. So a lot of them married the karmic, and fleeting is the word that comes to mind. Fleeting, this marriage, fleeting over. And somebody is in a state of despair right now. They may have lost their job. It says no jobs, not hiring. Okay, so maybe they lost their job. They don't have a job. And maybe they just feeling so overwhelmed and burdened right now. The fives in tarot are all about conflict and chaos, right? So even the dog looks, you know, in that despair type energy. So somebody in the collective divine masculine, some of the divine masculines are feeling this sense of despair. And that, I mean, how many five cards have we seen here? Five, that can reduce to a five. That's one, two, three, four. That's four or five cards, guys. Conflict, chaos, competition, like just a total shit show right now. Yeah. Somebody's in a state of poverty, guys. I cannot, I mean, literally, I wish I could change the story. I feel a sense of sadness right now. Like, I really feel like I could just bust out crying. I don't know. It's not my emotion, but I feel like this sense of despair. And, poverty could be poverty in the mind, the body, or the spirit. It doesn't have to be coin that you're lacking. You know what I'm saying? It could be spiritual poverty as well. It's time. It's time for a new journey. It's time for, a death and a rebirth. It's time for transmuting that old negative round and round repeated cycle energy, divine masculine, to start moving forward towards the sun. The sun is all about blessings and abundance. Transformation is needed. Butterflies are all about transformation and going towards the light. That's the pathway right there. Not this poverty and despair. Yep. This is divine masculine, main male. Yeah. They thought they were going towards great fortune, right? Thought they were going towards great fortune, and now all they can think about is this main female, this mature woman. All they can think about is this mature woman now. And acknowledge, this is a seven, acknowledging that this really was my divine counterpart, right? That they threw away for a karmic energy. This also can be reduced to a five. They created the conflict and chaos and competition with this mature woman. Now that she's gone and has removed her energy, all they can do is think about her. Does that make sense? Make it make sense. Divine masculine, make it make sense. Did you go out and have a baby with somebody else? Or get bamboozled into thinking you had a baby? Now it's all toil and labor now. That is your karma, toil and labor. This is an 11 card, and 11 is the justice card in tarot. Okay? This is the justice for the divine masculines, toil and labor now. Because their intention was fucked up. Okay, now they're in poverty and despair because they went towards this karmic for material gain. Okay, for material gain. And the way they handle the the divine feminines trying to get to this karmic energy, that's what they're getting karma for. Because they did it like a pump. Okay, they did it like a pump. All right. And now it's a distant horizon, right? Or maybe they're moving to distant horizons. Maybe they're waiting for their ships to come in now, trying to figure out what the hell is going to happen next. This is reduces to three. This reminds me of like a Three of Wands card, waiting for their ships to come in, waiting to see what's going to happen, waiting to see if there's going to be any progress. You know, because they chose this privileged lady, but they didn't know the mature woman was really the privileged lady. And now them screets is talking. Them screets is talking. Friends, family, co-workers, foe, don't matter. Them streets is talking. Rumors galore. They telling all your business, divine masculine. Telling all your damn business. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, the lovers. About this. This was a spiritually appointed connection, divine feminine and divine masculine, divinely appointed. This is six. This is the lovers card. It's also the lovers card in the tarot deck. Gemini energy. And the streets are talking and gossiping about what happened between this lover situation. Yeah, and how somebody was a fucking thief, whether they stole money, time, energy, whatever, they were a thief. Their intentions were all wrong. Where this is, they were a thief towards the divine feminine, or whether this is the karmic being a thief towards divine masculine, or vice versa. Because they were juking each other. Divine masculine and the karmic were juking each other, right? Probably stealing from one another. But the divine masculine also stole from the divine feminine time, energy, false promises, yada, yada, yada. All right. Somebody might, have lost their job. There may be a situation going off their job. We saw in the poverty card, the despair card, that it said not hiring. So maybe somebody, has an issue with their job. Or maybe this mature woman has some sort of hobby or occupation that is gifted to her from the divine as well. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, I just see this light. It's a light, but it kind of reminds me of like a spiritual orb. So maybe this mature woman has spiritual gifts. All right, expectation. Okay, so that is it. I was like, wow, this deck is really telling a story right now. I really don't even need to drop any tarot on here. We all basically freaking know what the hell is up. You know what I mean? Maybe I will drop a few cards of tarot on here and see. Holy Spirit, what is going on with the divine masculine collective at this time? What is going on with the divine masculine collective at this time? What's happening? October 2022. With it, I just saw Strength card and High Priestess. All right. Yeah. What's happening with the divine masculine right now? Divine masculine collective, Holy Spirit, tapping in and tuning in. And I've got the High Priestess on the bottom. I told you that this represents the divine feminine to me. And I stated earlier that she has gifts of a high priestess. Okay. Somebody's either thinking there's no time in the spirit realm, only divine timing. Okay. There's not time like there is now. Okay. So I can say October 2022, but it's really timeless because there's no time in the spirit realm. Somebody's either thinking of getting into their chariot or has gotten on their chariot. All right. Somebody who has a crown. All right. So pretty enlightened, pretty vibrationally, you know, they're rocking a higher vibration. It, they're thinking whether they need to get on their Harley and, you know, take a hike, go towards new adventures. Holy Spirit, please let the cards fall where they may. Can you please give us a few clarifying cards for the cards that are on the table right now? This is for Divine Masculine Collective. What's happening between the Divine Masculine and the karmic situation? What's happening? We need clarification with these cards that are already on the table. Can you help us with that, Holy Spirit? Okay. Software wands. Any other information that you would like to share with us today, Holy Spirit? All right. Oh, stop. Okay. We got Six of Swords. Somebody either thinking about sailing away from these choppy seas and going beyond those hills and mountains towards smoother waters, or they've already done this, or they're about to do it. I'm sailing away from this BS, man. You know what I'm saying? I knew there was a Knight of Wands involved. Hell yeah, for sure. That, yeah. I may have even stated that earlier. All right. So as far as tarot is concerned, what landed on this imprisonment card is I've got the Seven of Pentacles. All right. Maybe somebody did not nourish their garden. I don't know. But maybe maybe they want to now nourish their garden and give to their garden. You know, this is like the karma card. This reminds me of karma card too, because what you put in is what you get back, right? That cycle. What you put in good intentions, you get back abundance. You put in nastiness and lies and betrayal, you get that back. As above, so below. Now somebody wants to nourish their garden, this Page of Swords, who would like to come in and speak their piece. Swords are air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Pentacles are earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Somebody wanting to, this page energy wanting to come in and speak their truth. Maybe about what happened, maybe about this karmic situation, maybe about why they're imprisoned either in their mind or literally locked the fuck up because of this Three of Swords shit. Heartbreak. Heartbreak. And they could be imprisoned mentally because of this heartbreak, whether because of the heartbreak they incurred on the divine feminine or the heartbreak that jumping into this karmic situation has caused them. Now they're feeling imprisoned, you know. I've got 33 on the clock. Courtship. Page of Pentacles. A new offering. A new offering. New. It's page energy, so it's like baby energy. This could be a new offering on this courtship. Down below, we've got off on its own. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. Spirit saying, here you go. Here's the gift of abundance for you. Use it wisely, grasshopper. Knight of Pentacles in the crossing energy, very strong energy. Fuck boy, fuck girl energy. Okay. Fire energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Somebody who likes to party and bullshit, like we said earlier. Somebody who likes to see a lot of different people, sex different people. Just nobody wanting to make a commitment and settle down. They're in night energy. It's like being a young, in your early 20s or something, or a teenager. You want to flit around here and there, right? But this is very strong energy. So yeah, I knew there was a Knight of Wands. That was going to come out. And it's pointing towards this false person. So this Knight of Wands definitely is a part of this equation of these two false people in this card. Eight of Cups is laying on the false person and message of concern, pointing towards the past. Somebody walked away from this shit, man. It may have even been an Eight of Cups situation. It takes a lot of courage to walk away from Eight of Cups because the epitome, the pinnacle of that love situation is 10, right? And here we are at the 8. But somebody said, fuck this. Maybe because of this moon energy, where people wearing masks, illusions, secrets, lies, videotape, whatever. Somebody walked away. Walked away from this false person. And now there's a message of concern of some type. What fell on the mature lady? Seven of Cups. Somebody wishing they would not have had so many choices. Somebody wishing they could rewind that shit. And they could make the right choice. All right. I think they chose the cup with the snake in it. Okay. I've got Four of Swords in the reverse. Somebody not wanting to rest or recover, meditate on the situation, so maybe recovery, mind, body, and spirit. I don't know. But somebody is not allowing themselves to rest and recover here. Ah, okay. And then we have a Queen of Wands in reverse. Let me just say, and don't come for me unless I call for your ass. Queen of Wands in reverse is a straight up hoe. Prostitute, hoe, whatever, a courtesan, whatever you want to call them. They a hoe. They sleep with people for money. And in the upwards position, this queen is fire energy, Leo energy probably. Very abundant, goes for, very passionate, goes for what they want. They're full of desire, passion, and all that. And they may have spiritual gifts, okay? Because of this black cat. But in the reverse, this person might even practice black magic, like we've heard the Karmic in the situation do. This shit is a nightmare right here. This is a straight up prostitute who may be practicing black magic. Maybe practicing black magic on this mature woman, this divine feminine. But like I told you guys when we started this video, just when people try to send negative or harmful energy like black magic or kitchen witchery or spells or whatever to people who are divinely ordained, like divine masculines, divine feminines, high priestess, it will come back and bite your ass even stronger than what you sent it out. So watch what you're doing. And you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. Okay, don't do it. All right. If you're mad, if you're salty about a situation, don't be trying to send bad juju to another person. Okay, because it will come back on you tenfold. You heard it from me. All right. All right. So we have somebody sailing away, and under that, that is the truth, Ruth. Truth and clarity. Truth and clarity. You see in all these mountains and stuff like that, sometimes when you're down below, it's hard to get over these mountains, right? These mountains in life, it could be in mountains in your relationship, job, or whatever. It's hard to traverse these mountains, but there's truth and clarity overall that is spiritually guided. Okay, maybe truth and clarity about this whole situation. Maybe the divine masculines getting truth and clarity about this whole karmic situation. Oh, truth and clarity about this soulmate connection. Yeah. Four of Wands, 11-11, guys. Your soft place to fall. Your twin flame. If you believe in that. It's soulmate energy, though. And now somebody's feeling like this Nine of Wands. The weary warrior. Oh my God, I'm so weary. I'm so tired. And wanting to communicate. Maybe wanting to communicate and celebrate, or wanting to communicate about this third party situation. Okay. Consorting with others. And maybe a new offer of love. I don't know. But anyway. So that's it for a little bit of tarot and the Kipper cards for our divine masculines of the universe. Okay. If it fits, take it with you. If it doesn't, leave it on the table for somebody else, because this is a collective reading. All right, what's up? We're going to keep these cards off to the side so that we can refer to them in case we need to as we delve into some of these other cards. All right, Holy Spirit, what is up with divine masculine? What's up with these divine masculines? And earlier I said fleeting relationship, and guess what? I cracked the deck open. Fleeting. Yeah, that marriage was fleeting, right? Nurture. No nurturing. I don't know. Let's see if these cards come out again. Holy Spirit, what's happening in the divine masculine collective at this time? What's happening in the divine masculine collective, and what's happening with divine masculine and the collective? I forgot a card. What's happening with the divine masculine and the karmic situation? What's happening with the divine masculine and the karmic situation? Can you please show us, tell us? We need to know. All right. The bottom energy, I've got truth. All right. The truth needs to be told. We saw the Ace of Swords, right? The truth is or needs to be told about something. Where's that Ace? All right. Well, anyway, you guys saw it. I know you guys did. I can't find it now. I never looking for it. I can never find it. Where is it? Anyway, so the truth needs to come out. Truth and clarity about the situation. What happened? You know? And it was the way the divine masculines handled the situation with the divine feminine. It was very brutal and abrupt and disgusting for a lot of people out there. So there still may not, some divine feminines may still be wanting some closure from that situation, even though they're still moving towards North Node on their own, or they've already, gotten past the situation. But sometimes just knowing the reasons why can be helpful. And when I see this card, I feel like somebody wants to tell the truth about their sexuality, So let's see what's up. Authenticity. Yeah. Yeah. We saw that Eight of Cups card, right? Somebody walking away from an Eight of Cups situation. I said could have been because of this moon energy, wearing masks, illusions, secrets, lies, whatever. Yeah. It's time for authenticity right now. The month of October has collectives closing out all types of chapters and cycles in their life. They're just saying 10, it's over. We're done. All right. Or this situation's done. I quit this job, whatever. So it's time for closures, and it's time for authenticity. So if you're walking around and you habitually wear a mask, okay, because you think that's what other people want to see. No, we want to see your true authentic self. Okay. So let's find out more. Holy Spirit, what's happening with the divine masculine right now? What's the current energy for the divine masculine collective? Please show us. Whoa, I ain't taking all those. I'm not taking all those. No, Holy Spirit. Let's shuffle again and see what comes out. All right, Holy Spirit, just need 1 or 2 cards at a time. Please show us what's happening in the divine masculine collective and the karmic. What's happening with the divine masculine and the karmic situation at this time? What's happening? Divine masculine and the karmic situation. What's the current energy with the divine masculine energies and karmic? Whoa. Shit. All right. Any other cards using this deck, part of the deck, Holy Spirit? Divine masculine and the karmic energy. What is happening? Oh, Look, we talked about that child earlier, right? Whether it was a real karmic baby or a fake karmic baby, right? So we see baby feet and we see wedding rings. We know a lot of the divine masculines married this karmic energy because they either thought they were actually pregnant with their kid and they found out it wasn't their kid, or it was a fake pregnancy altogether. It was just to entangle the divine masculines, and they fell for that shit. They fell for that shit. I don't understand. All right, let's see what we got here. If it's in crossing, I'm going to leave it in crossing right here. You know, I'm just going to leave it there. And this authenticity card. Yep. Okay, that's part of the other deck. Okay. Let me put this up here. All right, Holy Spirit, using this other half of the deck, do you have any other messages for what's happening? For the divine, okay. Divine masculine and as well as the karmic energy. Any additional current energy messages for the divine masculine and the karmic? What's happening? What happening? Any other messages, Holy Spirit? We'd love to see it. If you could show us, tell us, share with us. Any other cards? Whoa. Okay. I'm going to take this one. All right. I've got somebody is either being guarded by spirit or they're being guarded of their own energy and space right now. All right. Closed off. All right. So let's see what we got here, guys. Very interesting. There's divine masculine. There's an attachment of some type. All right. Could be attachment of addictions, obsessions. Could be codependency type of situations. People pleasing. You know, putting everybody else above yourself. You know, those are all attachments that can be very harmful. They inhibit personal and spiritual growth for sure. Somebody is gathering some type of information. All right. I don't know if this is the karmic. I don't know if this is divine masculine, but somebody's researching something. Okay. Taking a closer look, investigating, scrutinizing. This is pointing towards the future. Somebody wants to atone for something at 1 mint. Atonement. To ask for forgiveness. To give an apology. All right. To free themselves of the feeling of, I need to apologize. I need this person's forgiveness. Okay. Somebody wants to make atonement. That could be divine masculine wanting to make atonement towards Holy Spirit. That could be the divine masculine wanting to make atonement towards the divine feminine. Not sure. Yeah. Tribe. You know, it's like I think the divine masculines thought they were going towards something uh, and left their real tribe. You know what I'm saying? Where they really were destined to be. You know, energies that help pull each other up, you know, that help heal each other. You know, that's the tribe you want to belong to. And I've got this victim mindset. It's pointing towards the past, but maybe that's what, you know, victim mindset is, woe is me. You know, my life is a shit show because everybody fucked it up. Nobody, they don't take responsibility for anything that they've done. Like, for example, divine masculine taking responsibility for this, a lot of the divine masculines, not all of them, this mess that they caused by um, reneging on their spiritual contract with the divine feminine and going the karmic route, right? But no, that's everybody else's fault because because they made the wrong choice. Instead of just saying, I messed up, I made the wrong decision, I went the way I shouldn't have gone, I wasn't ready to spiritually awaken, and I took the easy route. I wanted to stay in my devil energy or lustful energy or whatever. They blame other people. Or maybe they blamed other people because this is pointing towards the past energy. I've got destined path. Divine masculine, are you on this destined path? This is either you on your destined path and going through a healing right now, or spirit saying, yo, this is what you need to do. This is where you need to be doing right now. Get back on your destined path, whether it's with divine feminine or not, you still have a destiny. Okay. Ooh, my back is itching. You still have a destiny. Okay, you still have a path, whether that's solo dolo or not. But it's not with the karmic energy. All right, you need to heal thyself. We are all responsible for our own healing. If we know we got issues from childhood or whatever, we're responsible. I spent many, many years in counseling, group counseling, solo counseling, um, to try to become as whole of a person as possible from childhood trauma, spiritual birth, sorry, from childhood trauma. Because if we don't heal what hurts us or ails us, we're going to be walking around half the person that we're supposed to be. All right. Unable to give love, receive love the way that we're supposed to, making decisions to go the karmic route instead of the divine route, stuff like that. This reminds me of Seven of Swords energy that we spoke about earlier. Somebody who is a liar, a cheater, who plays mind games, who manipulates, who cheats, lies, steals, this controller. And as you can see, they're also wearing a mask. Excuse me for a second. Sorry, I had to get my back scratcher. My back is itching. All right. So yeah, somebody was a controller or manipulative in this relationship, or this divine masculine, either divine masculine or the karmic or both. Okay. And like I said earlier, there's no time in the spiritual realm, only divine timing. All right. And maybe this finding the destined path in this healing and relinquishing control will come in divine timing for the divine masculine and or the karmic. Don't know. All right, Holy Spirit. What is happening with this? What's happening with this divine masculine and this karmic? What's happening with the divine masculine and the karmic? What's happening with the divine masculine and the karmic, please? What's happening? What's happening with the divine masculine and the karmic, please? Inquiring minds want to know. I'm seeing as a black screen. What's happening? Sorry, I just saw a black screen there for a minute. All right, last shuffle. All right, Holy Spirit, what is the energy for the divine masculine and the karmic energies at this current time, Holy Spirit? What is the dealio? All right, at the bottom, I've got love, adore, admire, and enchantment. So maybe some of them actually love the karmic. I don't know. And I have synchronicities when I split the deck. Signs and signals from spirit. Okay. All right. So I want to take a few more cards from this. All right, Holy Spirit. What's happening with the current energy for the divine masculine as well as the karmic energies? The whoa! Please let the cards. That was crazy. Oh my God! Please let the cards fall where they're supposed to fall, Holy Spirit. Using this part of the deck. Messages. What's going on with the divine masculine and the karmic situation? What's happening? Who's going through this healing? Ooh. What is happening, Holy Spirit? Any more cards that you'd like to show us using this part of the deck? I feel like this one wanted to fall out. Oh, okay. Six of Cups type of energy. Somebody's recalling, reminiscing, remembering the good old days. Okay, I don't know if this is somebody recalling, maybe when the divine masculine and then the karmic first started out this relationship. Of course, it's like every new relationship that starts out full of all those good feelings and hot sex and all that other good stuff, right? Or this could be the divine masculine recalling those fond memories with the divine feminine. I don't know. Sure. All right, we're going to go over all of these in just a moment, though. How about the other ones? Holy Spirit, how about this part of the deck? What's happening with the divine masculine and the karmic situation? What's the current energy for the divine masculine and the current karmic energy? Please let the cards fall where they're supposed to fall, Holy Spirit. Please let the cards fall where they're supposed to fall. What's happening? Divine masculine, karmic energy. Divine masculine, karmic energy, please. Divine masculine, karmic energy, please. Any messages using this part of the deck, please, Holy Spirit? Any messages? Whoa, okay. All right, so let me go around one more time, Holy Spirit. Okay. What else you got? Uh-oh. Okay. All right. Somebody feels lost, ghosted, blocked, and cut off. Maybe somebody who's recalling, feels cut off from that energy. Divine masculinine's cut off from the divine feminine energy. I don't know. Oh, wow. All right, where do we even start with this? We're going to start right here. Now we're going to start right here. This card is off to itself. Okay, settlement. Now, excuse me. Where did that freaking... Okay, here we go. All right, so got settlement. Okay, an agreement, a compromise could be something for the court system as well, because we saw these cards earlier: adjudication and courthouse, right? So settlement may be coming down in reference to, I feel like, either this marriage between the karmic and the divine masculine, or this karmic baby. Okay, so starting over here, I've got lockdown. Somebody uh, is in a mental prison or confined. Okay, and we saw this card earlier, imprisonment. So somebody, either they are completely mentally like locked up, okay, or they are really physically in jail, okay, for whatever reason. And okay, so over here, um, on the information card and the atonement card, we've got nightlife. Okay, whatever happened in Vegas didn't stay in Vegas; it followed somebody back. Okay, so somebody took a gamble on some shit and they lost. Okay, lost. It's pointing downward. They lost. And also on the atonement card and the tribe card, you've got roller coaster. Okay, somebody's on some sort of roller coaster ride. Okay, and maybe they felt their highest high when they were with their tribe, and maybe that's why they want to atone, um, to get back together with their tribe of people who they felt the highest highs with. Isn't that a beautiful bird? Victim mindset. I feel like there's a timing factor. There's some sort of pause, or maybe somebody is just waiting for some shit to pop off because they got their popcorn ready. Fell on this victim mindset situation. So I don't know. On this healing card and this controller card, I've got denial. All right. Somebody not facing the truth. They're being irrational. Maybe they're being irrational about their healing. Okay. Maybe they're trying to control what happens with their healing, or maybe the karmic may be trying to control the divine masculine from going through some sort of healing. I don't know. And underneath the healing, denial, and controller cards, I've got negotiator. Somebody wants to beg and bargain. Somebody wants to beg and bargain about something. Hmm. And then next to the controller card and divine timing, I've got retaliation. Somebody wanting to retaliate, get even, fix somebody. You know, revenge. Maybe this controller wants to seek revenge now on whoever wants to get on their destined path and heal, but they're feeling locked down for whatever reason. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then also in divine timing, I've got financial support in reverse, and I've got children. So this is about children, you guys. There is a child out there somewhere between that happened between this divine masculine and this karmic energy. And maybe the settlement is going to be in somebody's, maybe the divine masculine's favor, that they don't have to pay out this financial support for child support or alimony or government money back. They don't have to do that. Maybe that's what the judgment is that they're being released from this financial obligation. Maybe they found out the baby, maybe they called Maury and found out the baby really wasn't theirs, so they don't have to. And maybe they weren't married long enough to pay alimony. I don't know. But it has something to do with children, whether fake or real. I don't know. And maybe in divine timing, that has already come out or will come out. And somebody having to pay out this financial money will be reversed. Okay. Somebody's plugged in. Somebody's tuned in, though. Somebody's definitely tuned in. That is for sure. All right. Somebody is watching, gathering information, whatever. Maybe for this settlement situation. I don't know. But anyway, that's what's up. That's what's up. And hopefully, this is a big learning lesson. that the divine masculines needed to go through in order to trust their intuition, in order to trust spirit, and put aside that ego and pride that they have. And, yes, we all have free will, but I don't know about you guys, but I've made my share of bad decisions in life. You know what I'm saying? And this, going towards this karmic, was a bad freaking decision. Whether they married them or not, and where they're stuck like Chuck, I don't know, child. I don't know. Hmm. Where do we go from here? I want to see what's happening. Holy Spirit, what's happening between what's happening with the divine masculine and the karmic energy? What's currently happening between the divine masculine and the current energy at this time? Just let's see a few cards, please. What's happening in the energy? You have become too difficult for me to handle. That's a big turn off. Wow. I need to free myself from fears and doubts. I am a caged bird. Somebody feels caged, locked in, locked up. I feel abandoned by you, and it is triggering my childhood traumas. I am finally seeing my worth, yet I still feel unworthy of your love. This situation has become very difficult for me to manage mentally. It is draining me. All right, so those are some of the divine masculine and karmic messages. Let's see. You cut this deck in half. All right, Holy Spirit. What messages would the karmic like to share? We'll give him or her a few minutes. What would the karmic like to say about this divine masculine energy? What would the karmic energy like to say about this divine masculine energy, please? Using this part of the deck. What would the karmic like to say? That's a lot. Okay. And we'll take this part of the deck. And what other additional messages would the karmic like to share in reference to the divine masculine energy? A few more shuffles. All right. Okay. That's it. Oh, look at this one. I am toxic to him. You don't say. And on the bottom of this, the way he talks about you, I can tell he still loves you. All right, what's on the table here? What is on the table here? Karmic confession decks. What's up? We fight too much over small things. So the karmic and the divine masculine are feuding over the smallest little things. That's because they're not compatible. They never were supposed to be compatible. It was a smash. It's supposed to be a smash session. That's it. I can feel him pulling away from me. I don't feel worthy enough to find a good man like yours. Okay. I am the one dealing with this bullshit in your place. You chose it, honey. You chose it. Good luck with that. You inherited somebody else's problem, basically. He feels good being with me. Mm-hmm. It really shows in the cards that have come out so far. I can tell he's unhappy here with me. Okay, that's the real truth. He has some narcissistic tendencies. I feel things have changed in this relationship. He refuses to open up to me. I do not have passionate feelings for him like you do. chemistry is off between us. Exactly. It wasn't supposed to be. That's why the chemistry is off. It's like fitting a square inside of a circle. It doesn't fit. And lastly, we're learning to deal with our toxic behaviors. Wow. Sounds like a toxic love fest, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Let me get a few of my own messages for my own karmic deck. My own karmic deck. Holy Spirit, what messages can you show the divine masculine and the karmic energy using my karmic deck, please? Karmic T deck. All right. This is for divine masculine and the karmic energy. And the karmic energy, Holy Spirit, please show us what we need to know today. All right. Excuse me. Okay, what do we have here, guys? What do we have here? All right. In the hidden energy for this pile, I've got narrow vision, narrow-minded, biased. Okay, so somebody has a narrow vision of life, and somebody is broke, busted, and disgusted, baby. Somebody feels exiled. Okay, and there's nothing here. All right, so let's find out for my deck what's up. All right, Holy Spirit, what's happening between the divine feminine, the divine masculine and the karmic energy? What's the current energy between the divine masculine and the karmic energy, please? Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Holy Spirit, please show us what's happening between the karmic and the divine masculine, please. What's happening? All right, and we are done. Cards flying. Nothing here. And self-sabotage. So, yeah, and we've seen this in other readings that we've done about the divine masculine, who is a self-saboteur. They sabotage everything that's good, holy, and pure. Okay? That's what they do. It can't be, if it's good, it's too good, right? They got to throw a monkey wrench in that shit. Okay. Ooh! Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. Look. I don't know how that baby is not mine. Kamori, y'all. That show is still on. Kamori. Find out the truth. Insist on a DNA test, whatever, to find out whether that baby is yours or not. Okay. Woo-hoo-hoo! Somebody caught a case of STD or STI. All right. Could be sexually transmitted disease or spiritually transmitted diseases. I don't know. Anyway. Holy Spirit, what's happening with the divine masculine and the karmic? What's happening with the karmic and the divine masculine at this current time? What's happening in their world, in their universe? Please show us the real truth of what's happening with this karmic energy and this divine masculine. One more shuffle, two more shuffle, three more shuffle. All right, that's it. Nothing here. Lost without your love. So genuine. Make sure none fell on the floor. All right, and these are going to be the last messages. I want to give you some soul messages, though, divine masculine. You know, something, how can you nurture yourself, right? All right, so no energy here. Divine intervention. So protected from fuckery. Somebody, like I said earlier, if you send hexes or spells towards divine, whoever's been divine, destined as being divine, of a divine being, guess what? It's not gonna work. All right, it's not gonna work. Not gonna work. We've got the magic has worn off. Boom. We saw that Queen of Wands in reverse, that hoe, that prostitute, that trick. Probably doing some hex work, some spell work, black magic, whatever, on the divine masculine. You are divinely protected. Yes, okay, look. Divine intervention. So protected from fuckery. And then we have another message, divine masculine. So even though you're going through whatever this is, yeah, repeating toxic cycles, even though you're repeating toxic cycles and not learning from them, evidently, you're still being protected. Somebody is crushed, broken, sad, and depressed. Something could have happened in summer. Here we go again. Divinely protected. This is the third card from my deck that shows that you're divinely protected. So if that karmic's doing spell work, guess what, karmic? You're going to get it back tenfold. I feel like I burned every bridge. There's no way back. Yeah. I mean, some divine feminines and divine masculines can repair things if the bridges weren't blown up too bad to smithereens. But others, they just did too much. They did too much. There's no going backwards. This is justice, right? The scales are being balanced. Libra energy. All right. Justice. Somebody's a confused woman. Somebody wants a divorce. Getting divorced. No longer happy. Yeah, we said that relationship was fleeting, didn't we? We specifically said that marriage was fleeting. And now we have real karmic baby. So some of you guys need to call Mari, and some of you guys had a real karmic baby with this karmic energy. Another 18 years of child payments, right? It was and is always YOU. Only a few know the real me, and you're one of them. Abundance. Bam. Abundance in reverse, you guys. And when you don't listen to spirit and you lean on your own understanding, right? Abundance in reverse. I hate nothing about you. I feel like some of these messages are directed towards the divine feminine. Somebody has mommy issues, full show. Both the karmic and the masculine have parental issues from childhood trauma. Simping. Somebody is still sprung on that ass, though. Somebody is still sprung on that ass. This was in reverse. I don't know, but somebody got back with their ex. Maybe they broke up. I don't know. Yeah. Somebody chose a karmic love over real love. Ain't that some shit? I can't make this shit up. Coffin. The shit is dead. It's deaded. Over. And we saw that coffin card in the reverse. Somebody not wanting things to be over. Somebody not wanting things to be dead, but they are dead, y'all. All right. There's some spiritual warfare going on. For sure. Somebody's disloyal. Somebody's a criminal. And somebody's skullduggerous. For sure. As well as a dick dealer. Somebody was in their lust. They went to the karmic because they didn't want to give up lust and addictions and partying and bullshit. They didn't want to give that up. Somebody was an ultimate dick dealer out in them streets that now has an STD or an STI. Because they was in that moon energy, baby. They was in that moon energy that we talked about earlier. Ooh, shit. Fire crotch. Somebody got STDs for show. Damn, that there's flames coming out of them crotches, boy. Somebody wants you back. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. All plans are backfiring. Yes. Divine Masculine thought they were going towards the bag, right? You saw that come out in many messages today. And that shit's backfiring big time. And the Karmic thought they were going towards the bag and they were getting to get somebody to finance them, right? Finance their life. That shit's backfiring too. Yes. Legal matter, court, legal papers, being sued, divorce, custody. I cannot make this shut up if I tried. Bitch got me smoking out the window. So cold. I ain't got no words for that. And lastly, you are irreplaceable. I'm taking that as a message to the divine feminine collective. You're replaceable. And now this divine masculine energy is now realizing what they had and what they chose. What they had and what they chose. All right. So it still sounds like, a lot of the divine masculines are still in the same type of energy. It's not like much has changed. They might be thinking about, might be thinking about, you know, they might be thinking about healing and, you know, healing their soul and stuff like that. They may be thinking about that, but somebody may be trying to control them to not move forward and awaken or heal, or they want to stay in the ego and the pride and all that. All right. Soul cards. This is what you need to be aware of, what you need to pay attention to, what you need to nourish during this week or, in October, divine masculines. This is your soul speaking. Some divine masculines feel like a failure. All right. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. This was all a lesson. It was divinely uh, guided this way, and you had free will to make a choice. Divine feminine or karmic energy. Please be aware of your health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Okay. If somebody has STIs or STDs out there, please go to the doctor. Please get yourself healthy. Please alert the other people in your life, especially if you were not using protection. Okay. Take care of your health. Be empathetic to yourself and empathetic to other people. I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. Abundance. I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. If you're wanting to change, if you're wanting to awaken, if you're wanting to heal, abundance is waiting for you, divine masculine. Stop repeating the same toxic cycles over and over and over. Judgment is being called. Judgment is being called. Okay. And there's some envy there. I don't know if the karmic is in envy, you're in envy, or somebody's envying the divine feminine and her glow up. I don't know. Yeah. I am a being of love and I release all negative and toxic energy. Release it. Find peace. Heal. Okay? Heal from childhood trauma. All right? So you can be the best version of yourself, divine masculine. All right? Don't, if some of you have regrets, don't stay in that energy. Okay? Just learn from your decision making, learn from past mistakes. Don't stay in the regret. Okay? Be courageous. Be courageous and follow your destined path. All right. I just feel like giving you an angel card too. I don't know why. Every time I want to quit, Spirit says, no, no. Holy Spirit, can I have one or two angel messages for our divine masculines? What do they need to... Okay. Yeah. Spiritual growth. All right. Spiritual growth requires going through a death and a rebirth, laying down the ego and pride, and taking Spirit's hand so that you can go through this healing. Okay. Go through this healing so that you can spiritually grow. Repeating toxic cycles is not enabling your spirit to grow. And you have to do the work, divine masculines. It's not going to come to you. It's not out like alakazam, boom. You have to do the work in order to become your best possible self. Okay? And the answer to the question or the desire or the want is yes. But you got to do the work. You got to put in the work. You got to heal in order to find this peace. All right, and feel and let those chains drop around you so that you can feel that sense of freedom and not feel bound and spiritually tied up and all that other stuff. So anyway, divine masculine, that's what's happening in yours and the karmic's energy right now. This is October 9th, 2022. I hope you got some nuggets out of it. I hope it's been eye-opening for a lot of you. And yeah, until we meet again, we'll check on you guys again in the next week or 10 days or so to see how you're doing. We send up support and prayers for the divine masculine and also the karmic. Everyone has an opportunity to make wise decisions or change your mind or, redeem yourself. So we're praying for that. The light in me honors the light in you guys. Namaste. Thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. This is Tracy with Ascension 225. Tarot and Oracle. Love you guys. Bye, GMs. Take care. Peace.